Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our book study. We will be reading Myron Golden's From the Trash Man to the Cash Man. I'm excited about that. I'm excited for you guys to keep being able to read this concept and really for us just to be able to read together. Um, you're welcome to join me at Shine Campus or theshinecampus.com. You can join me in studio here. We could even have discussion. If not, I'll just read to you and have my own discussion about what I'm seeing and what I'm reading. So I'm just backing up a little bit just to highlight something. And I think this is an interesting concept for us to be able to have. It says, whoever puts the most money in your mind, that's who has the most of your money. And that's interesting because I've been talking about us being able to link up and um, be with other people. And um, part of that means spending money on training and spending money on on growing ourselves in different kinds of ways. And so, if it's just commercials we're watching, then I mean it's taken over us. If it's but if it's things that we're intentional about, then those things also will take over us. So it's a useful way to think about how we're doing our money. All right, so let's get started reading. Um, and we'll start right here with this last blue mark. I don't see where I left off. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Rich people don't set limits for themselves. Rich people think either or. Rich people think both and what this means is that poor people look at every choice as a process of elimination. For instance, a person might think, uh, I would like to do what I love, but I have to pay my bills. That statement implies that you can't have both. We buy into truisms that aren't true, like the saying, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Of course, you can have your cake and eat it too. How else would you eat your cake if you didn't have it first? The actual quote is, you can't eat your cake and have it or save it too. Ironically, the latter statement is why poor people get poor and rich people get richer. Rich people don't try to eat their cake and have it too. Let me illustrate. Rich people are conservative spenders, but many poor people will spend everything they get as soon as they get it. Then they wonder why they never accumulate wealth. You see, you can't spend your money and have it too. Too many poor people will spend more money than they should to buy things they really can't afford, to impress people they really don't know or that they don't know. The next time you are tempted to do this, stop and say to yourself, I can spend this now and have nothing later, or I can invest this now and have a fortune later. You can't eat your cake and have it too, and you can't spend your money and have it too. If you want to be rich, you must resist the temptation to spend present cash that you could be using and should be using to create future wealth. Once you have created your wealth, then you can become a both and person because you will then have the ability to travel wherever you choose and you will enjoy a nice lifestyle without having a worry about money. Poor people think either or, but rich people think both and. Poor people think, well, I've got to do either this or that, this or this. Rich people think, how can I do both? Start changing the way you think. Poor people focus on the obstacle, rich people focus on the opportunity. It's all a question of focus. In every situation, there are both obstacles and opportunities. Which one do you usually see? Let's go back. Oh, yeah. Which one do you usually see? Start thinking like a rich person and you will eventually be rich. Choose your advisors wisely. The difference that the difference that I am about to show you is one of the most ironic of all the differences between the rich and poor. Rich people only take financial advice from people who are as rich as they are or richer. Poor people only take financial advice from people who are as poor as they are or poorer. This is one of the most amazing things that I have seen since I began studying the subject. It is really sad because most people will go to the grave and never even realize that if what they are currently doing is not giving them the result they desire, then they should start looking to some different sources for advice. One of the best definitions of insanity I've ever heard is continuing to do the same things and expecting a different result. If you continue to do what you've always done, then you will continue to get what you've always gotten. Now I have given you the start to a pretty good list of differences between the rich and the poor. It is not an exhaustive list, but it is a good start. While you are on your personal wealth journey, continue to grow your list of differences between the rich and poor, and I will look forward to hearing your story one day of how you made it into the top 5%. So just kind of rehashing what happened before, just to kind of catch us all up, depending on where you're catching in on this reading. But um, so the challenge was is to make a list and divide that list between the way that rich people think and the way that poor people think. And neither has to be like derogatory terms. It's not like trying to make one out to be um, bad people. It's just a different way of being, and I think that that's really important for us to look at. All right, chapter 3, the window of opportunity. The window of opportunity has more to do with your perspective on money and how it is made than anything else. Let me illustrate this for you. On the following pages, you will see an intersection. In the center of the intersection, the dollar sign is where accident happens. There are four people standing on four corners, and they all see the same accident. My question to you is, did they all see the same thing? The answer is, of course not. They all saw something different. The reason they all saw something different is because they were all looking at the situation from a different perspective, just as in this illustration about the accident. Our financial life has a lot more to do with perspective than most people realize. Your perspective is critical to the results you produce in your financial life. Your perspective is critical to the results you produce in your financial life. Have you ever stopped to consider your current perspective about money? Have you ever thought about the fact that your perspective is either keeping you from your dreams or making them a reality? If you were aware of how much power your perspective actually has, you would consciously create a perspective that serves you well, and you would eliminate the ones that do not serve you as well. When you finish the next two chapters, you will have a brand new perspective that can make you rich beyond your imagination. Let's look at the following illustration to see if it will help clarify our current perspective and help us develop a new one if necessary. We know that these four people all saw the same accident, but they didn't see the same thing. Seldom do we see things the way they are. Most of the time, we see things the way we see them because of where we are. One of my purposes in writing this book is to move you to a different place in your life so you can see things that you couldn't see before. It's not about what happens as much as it's about how you view what happens. Now, where you're going to take this intersection and turn it into a window. Oh, now where you're going to take this intersection and turn it into a window. This window has four panes in it. So instead of saying there are four people watching an accident, we're going to say they are all looking at the window. You may be wondering why I put a dollar sign there for an accident. The reason is this: if most people make any real money in their life, it's an accident. If they keep any of the money they make, it's also an accident. Now let's draw a box around our intersection and turn our intersection into a window with four window panes. The window of opportunity. So if everybody is, just to kind of catch everybody up, what we're saying is there's different perspectives on money, and then now he's going into the different window panes and ways of looking at money. So we've got four people looking through the window of opportunity, and all four of them are looking at money through the window from a different window pane. That is why they all have different perspectives. The lower half is HAJ window pane. Right beside it on the bottom right is the OAJ window pane. On the top left is the OAS window pane. The top right is the SMS window pane. How are the window panes in the window of opportunity? Or those are the window panes in the window of opportunities. HAJ is in the lower left. It is in the bottom part of the window. The reason why is because HAJ stands for have a job. The worst way to make money. So having a job is without question the worst legitimate way to make money. Unfortunately, for most people in this country, having a job is the only way they know how to make money. Of course, if you ask people how they like their job, they often say, well, you have to have a job, or I've got to pay my bills. Having a job is the worst way to make money because you trade your time for money. As we've already discussed, time is more valuable than money. So you're trading something valuable for something that at best has a limited value. The second reason that having a job is the worst way to make money is because you only have so much time. This means that if you have a job, you can only make so much money. Another reason that having a job is the worst way to make money is because nobody's willing to pay you what you are worth. Think about it. Go ask 10 people that you work with, 10 people in your neighborhood, 10 people at your church, and 10 people in your family if they feel like they are paid what they are worth. I promise you that every last one of them will tell you no, they will never be paid what they are worth while they are working for someone else. The second worst way to make money, the second way to make money on the bottom right is OAJ. That stands for own a job. Most people think that they are going from having a job into having their own business, but they really don't. They're really doing a, but what they're really doing is going from having a job to owning a job. What owning a job means is that they start a business in which they are the only employees, which means they are in high demand. They go from having one boss over in the have a job window pane to 37 bosses called customers or clients in the own a job window pane. People who own jobs generally make more money than people who have jobs because they decide how much they get paid and are usually in high demand. However, because they are usually the only person doing the work, they generally have less time than people who have a job. Owning a job is better than having a job because you make more money, but it's worse than having a job because it usually means you have less time. You don't want to go from having a job to owning a job. Another really bad thing about having a job or owning a job is that it is the most risky financial situation into which you can put yourself or your family. If something happens to you and you can't work, then your income comes to a screeching halt. Many people have found themselves devastated financially after becoming disabled or unemployed because they were the only source of their income. You don't want this to happen to you and your family. One of the best things you can do is to get to the point in your life where you are no longer looking at money through the lower window panes. And these four ways to make money, having a job is the worst way to make money, and owning a job is the second worst way to make money. I know that some of you self employed job owners may be cringing at some of this information. Remember that having a job and owning a job have one major thing in common: your income is still limited by time because you only have so much time. This means you can only make so much money. All right, we got about 3 more minutes, and I'll try to get through these next two window panes so we can look at it before we take off. All right, the best way to make money. So the two worst ways to make money are to have a job or own a job. Now we're going to talk to look at money the way millionaires and billionaires make it. Let's look out the upper left hand window pane, the OAS window. The OAS stands for own a system. I like what Robert Allen and Mark Victor Hansen put together with the phrase they coined. The word system stands for yourself time, energy, and money. You want to own a system, or better yet, own some systems that pay you even when you are not working. There are different kinds of systems that you can own, but all the systems that I'm talking about are what we call business systems. Most people don't have enough courage to start, create, and sustain a business system. You say, Myron, what does it have to do with courage? It actually has everything to do with courage. Here's why. While you're building a system, you're often not getting paid. You usually don't get paid until the system is built. But most of us are so addicted to a paycheck that we can't get rich. One of the biggest reasons we don't get rich is because have to unlearn how to trade our time for money. You have to reprogram yourself for wealth creation instead of just making ends meet and paying the bills. You've been programmed your whole life to trade your time for money. You have to put in 8 hours of work for 8 hours of pay. First of all, what is 8 hours of pay? If I'm going to put in 8 hours at work, I'd like to put in 8 hours work for a lifetime of residual income. Residual income is the kind of income that keeps coming in long after you stop going out to get it. If I'm going to put in 100 hours of work, I'd rather put 100 hours of work into something that's going to pay me for the rest of my life. While you are creating a business system, you don't get paid. But after the system is created, it pays you from then on. You want to establish a business system because that is what's going to give you freedom with your time and money. This is where Bill Gates, Michael Dell, Sam Walton, and the richest people in the world live. They own business systems. This is the arena in which my millionaire friends and I play. We own systems that pay us 5 and 6 figures per month, even when we're not working. There are different kinds of business systems. There are people systems. There are business real estate systems. There are business technology systems. There are business license systems. There are many different kinds of systems that you can own. When you are putting the system into place, you make little or no money. But after the system is in place, the money starts coming in so fast you can't even count it. So what you want to do is own a system or systems. Establishing a system requires time. It requires effort. It requires energy. It requires money. It requires patience because you don't generally start building a system one day and get paid the next. That's why most people don't do it. They think if they do some work that doesn't generate income right away, the effort wasn't worth it. I'm going to tell you something right now. Nothing could be further from the truth. Building a business system is going to eventually give you time, freedom, and money freedom. I'm I'm going to give you more time at the end of your day. It's going to give you more time at the end of your day, more time at the end of your week, more time at the end of your month, more time at the end of your year. It will give you more time to fulfill your life purpose. It won't be easy, but it will be worth it. I am glad that I learned a long time ago that success and failure are both hard. The difference is that if you succeed in life, you get to enjoy the fruits of your difficulty. If you fail in life, you have no fruits from your difficulty. The second best way to make money. The SMS window is the second best way to make money and the final way that we will discuss in this book. As we look through the window of opportunity, SMS means sow money seeds. This is investing in things like stocks, oils, gold mines, tax lien certificates, etc. This is where your money is making money for you. This is also where the richest people in the world live. This is where people like Warren Buffett hang out. These people understand how to make money for them. The beautiful thing about sowing money seeds and planting your money is that since everything reproduces after its own kind, when you begin to plant money, it makes your wealth grow at a faster and faster rate. You may be thinking money doesn't grow on trees. You're right, but if money did grow on trees, it would grow on money trees. Where else would money grow? Now I'm speaking here. Now I'm speaking here figuratively. Money, if it is planted, invested, can grow more money. You must learn to plant your money in your investments long enough for it to reproduce. Remember, your money return will never grow for you if all you do is use it for consumption. You must learn to use your money for production and reproduction. All right, we'll stop right there. A little bookmark. Hopefully, I'll see that one. Um, so it's interesting that there are four windows of opportunity. There's um, having a job, there's owning a job, and then there's creating a system, and then there is planting your money seeds so that your money can make money babies. I hope you guys enjoyed the reading, and we will talk to you next week.